अपनी दुनियावी ज़िंदगियों की कुर्बानी देकर हमेशा की ज़िंदगी हासिल करने वाले बन गए, जिन्होंने जान माल वक्त को कुर्बान करने का जब ऐद किया तो फिर निभाया, और ऐसा निभाया कि बाद में आकर पहले आने वालों से सबकत ले गए।
ऐ मिल्लते इस्लाम के मासूम शहीदों, बहते हुए अश्कों से मैं देता हूँ सलामी.
His Holiness, may Allah be his helper, said, on 11th of January in the Ahmadiyyat community of Dori, Burkina Faso, 9 Ahmadis were martyred for not renouncing their faith. According to reports, 8 people on 4 motorcycles came to the Ahmadiyya mosque at the time of the evening prayer. They had an announcement made that everyone should come into the mosque swiftly, as there were some people who had come to meet them. They then asked who the imam of the mosque was and who the associate imam was. They asked various questions about the belief of Ahmadis, to which the imam confidently gave answers. They asked about whether Jesus, peace be upon him, is alive or has passed away. Ahmadi imam replied that the Ahmadiyya belief is that Jesus, peace be upon him, has passed away. He then also told them about the advent of the promised Messiah, peace be upon him. They then brought in pictures of the promised Messiah, peace be upon him, and the caliphs, and the imam gave an introduction to all of them. They then said that, God forbid, the promised Messiah was false in his claim. The terrorists then formed groups of all those present in the mosque, separating the children, youth and the elders. There were about 11 or 12 women present in the mosque as well. Then, the terrorists took the elders out into the courtyard of the mosque. There were 10 elders at the time, including one with an ailment, who the terrorists told to stay inside. Whilst outside, the terrorists said that whoever renounced Ahmadiyyat would be saved. The imam replied that if they wished to behead him then they could, however he would not renounce the truth after having found it. They laid him down on the ground with a knife to his neck, however he said that if they were going to kill him they should let him be upright. Upon this, they shot him, and thus, the first martyr was Imam al-Hajj Borim Abidiga. An extraordinary example of remaining firm in one's faith. His Holiness, may Allah be his helper, said, after this, the terrorists thought that upon seeing this, others would be scared and renounce their faith. They moved on to the next elder, however he said he could never renounce Ahmadiyyat and he was content with following the path of the Imam. Upon this, they shot him in the head. Then the terrorists went to the rest one by one, asking them the same question, receiving the same answer, and they all met the same honor of martyrdom. They all exhibited the highest level of patience and perseverance. Their faith did not waver for even a moment, despite seeing their brothers being martyred, and they all gave the same answer. Each martyr endured about 3 or so bullets. 2 of the martyrs were also twin brothers. When 8 people had been martyred, Agi Adramana Guma remained, who was 44 years old and the youngest among the martyrs. The terrorists said that he was the youngest and should save his life. He boldly replied that he was ready to sacrifice his life just as his elders had, and he was subsequently martyred. His Holiness, may Allah be his helper, said, with reference to a dream he saw about Hazrat Sahibzada Abdul Latif Shahid, may Allah be pleased with him, the promised Messiah, peace be upon him, commented that God would send others like him. Surely, the events in Burkina Faso are a fulfillment of that. His Holiness, may Allah be his helper, said, the entire ordeal lasted for about an hour and a half. One can only wonder the difficulty that the children and others present endured having to watch their elders be martyred. The terrorists did not immediately leave and continued spewing threats, saying that others who did not renounce Ahmadiyyat would face the same end. His Holiness, may Allah be his helper, said, these are the shining stars of Ahmadiyyat. They have left us with an example. His Holiness, may Allah be his helper, prayed that, may Allah increase their progenies in sincerity. The enemy may think that they will eliminate Ahmadiyyat from the area with their martyrdoms, however, God willing, Ahmadiyyat will only increase in the area. His Holiness, may Allah be his helper, said, the local community should carefully devise a plan to continue propagating the message of Ahmadiyyat. His Holiness, may Allah be his helper, prayed that, may Allah continue to grant patience to the families.